you say we cut the chit-chat? A-hole!
This year we're going to grab the bull by the balls and kick those punks off campus.
Well, looks like the cows have come home to roost.
You're very welcome to the movie show. Last week we enjoyed a fierce fancy screening of Murder on the Orient Express, courtesy of Go Rewards with Permanent TSB. Go Rewards is Permanent TSB's exciting way of rewarding current account customers with cash back when they pay by Permanent TSB Visa debit card. Our prize this week is a pair of tickets to Justice League fan event premiere in IMAX and Cineworld on November 16th. To win, simply tell us who plays Batman in the Justice League films. It's an easy one. Comment below, tag a friend, have the crack, have the lols. We're going to have the lols anyway. Brian Lloyd, movie editor. Dee Malumbi, staff writer. I'm Mike Sheridan, which is also my Twitter handle. Follow me. What's going on, lads? It's a fairly quiet one this week.
Yeah, it's a funny one. Yeah,
it is, isn't it? So the first one is Luke Evans, Rebecca Hall, who I'm a little bit in love with.
She's awesome in this, by the way.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
She's great.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't slag. I didn't say a
word. I don't understand this, right? Because we say a name, and then he reacts to the name, and then you go, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "I didn't say that," but you reacted to the name.
Yeah, Rebecca Hall. Yeah, okay, cool.
That is certainly her name.
I think this is a recollection of last week when you called her
Dowdy.
I think.
Oh, don't. Okay, yeah. Wow. Okay, I did not call her Dowdy. I did not say that.
You said she looks like an.
What I said was that she looks like
Anyway, I've interviewed her a couple of times. She is stunning in person, and she is the loveliest woman and a brilliant actress. How is she in this, Dee? This is a true story. The guy who created Wonder Woman.
Yes, so this is based on Professor William Moulton Marston. Sorry, it's quite a mouthful.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yes, who is the creator behind Wonder Woman. But he had this kind of sketchy background in that he actually had a mistress, and the three of them lived together, and he had kids by both women and everything. Yeah, so it was a weird one. But Rebecca Hall in this plays his legitimate wife, and she is, of the three actors, so you've got Luke Evans, Rebecca Hall and Bella Heathcote in this, and of the three of them, Rebecca Hall is just amazing. She's so fiery and passionate, and is cursing all through the movie, which is fab. She's amazing in this, and all empowered and everything. So I loved her in this.
But how is the film overall though? I like Luke Evans as a lead man. I think he's a strong actor. Yeah, I think he just hasn't quite found his.
We were kind of saying the opposite the other day.
Really? I think he is a good actor.
Hasn't quite found that role. He hasn't quite found that,
Maybe,
that could be it.
Good show for Bond.
Yeah, great show for Bond. But what I would say about Luke Evans is that I think when he's in a supporting role, I think he has a much better chance to shine when he's got the pressure on him. Because any of the films that he's been put in, you're right, I don't think he's been right for it. Like Dracula Untold, he might physically look he's got leading man looks.
Yeah.
But I don't think the acting that he has portrayed so far has been leading man quality. I think it's more supporting quality. But he was brilliant in High Rise. I thought he was fantastic. I know you don't like High Rise. I know a lot of people here don't like Ben Wheatley in High Rise. I thought he was brilliant in that.
My problem with Ben Wheatley is Dowdy. He's Dowdy. I'm only joking. I don't know what he looks like.
He does look a bit Dowdy. I won't lie.
So overall, Dee, tell us about the film. How did you feel about it? It was kind of a semi-decent review. You gave it 3 stars. Am I right?
It was just okay. I felt that in terms of the story, there wasn't really enough there for them to expand it to as long as it was. It's nearly 2 hours. I think it's an hour 45, an hour 50 minutes long, and it's really just about this relationship. It doesn't go into Wonder Woman much at all, which I was kind of surprised at.
So the hope for this. And we're acutely aware that it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, we can't.
It's somewhat kinky. It's
it's very
it's a
kinky.
BDSM thing. It's like a
there are definitely
the lasso
kinky.
truth came from a strange place.
Yeah.
There are some very kinky scenes in this movie if you're into that stuff.
It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Dee.
Yeah, felt a bit uncomfortable.
People are getting their lunch.
When you've got Brian Lloyd going, take it down a notch.
I've heard about this though. I remember she was like, it's really full on. I wasn't expecting it.
Well, that's the story, I guess, right? And it's a true story.
Yeah.
So overall, kind of grand, solid. Wait for it to come on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really, really interested in finding out the origin story behind Wonder Woman, I suppose.
Or if you're a dirty swine.
No judging, okay?
I liked as well that it didn't ruin the original Wonder Woman for me, because I was really worried going into this thinking, because you know how much... That's what I was genuinely worried about. But it does really emphasise how she was this feminist icon, and that Marston really had those intentions behind it.
So whatever else about the peripheral stuff, that was the real intention.
But he did also sneak in quite a bit of bondage and stuff like that.
It was also a door port.
Yeah. That's a pretty neat summary there, Mike.
Yeah, thanks. We can put that one on the poster. I haven't seen it though. Brian, Only the Brave.
Yes.
This is the guy who directed Tron.
Yeah, Joseph Kosinski.
Oblivion. He's going to direct Top Gun 2.
And I tell you, if you want a poster quote for this, since we're doing poster quotes,
Are we doing poster quotes now?
here's the poster quote for Only the Brave. Top Gun with firefighters. That's
Class.
basically it.
I want to
mean,
see that. I want to see that movie. That worked. That works. You didn't review it for the site.
I didn't know.
No,
Gav
Gav
did.
reviewed it. You didn't like it.
Gav didn't like it, yeah. And to be honest, I was watching it. I was like, yeah, I was like, I could see why somebody might look at this and think, yeah, this is just like, Trump country, action-packed kind of thing. Like, this is like
The Peter Berg kind of.
Yeah, Peter Berg kind of
movies
buzz.
he'd made with Mark Wahlberg.
Exactly.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, like Lone Survivor and all that kind of thing. I was watching it. I was like, yeah, I could see that. But then on the other hand, I was like, this is really well made. The acting in it from everybody, like Josh Brolin and Miles Teller and Jennifer Connelly, even though she doesn't have much to do in it, it's all really solid. Even Taylor Kitsch, again, there's another guy who has leading man looks, but performs far better in
He
the
got a
supporting
couple of
role.
movies and they just didn't happen. John Carter was
Yeah.
just didn't make the money. I know you liked it, but just didn't make the money it needed to make.
But anytime
him
he's
a
been
lead
in
man.
a supporting role, though, I think
Yeah.
he's been brilliant. Like Friday Night Lights or even True Detective Season 2.
That's what both Colin Farrell and Jake Gyllenhaal have done.
Yeah.
They've gone on and done supporting stuff and then kind of built themselves back up in the quirkier supporting roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of
But
indie stuff.
in this, it's based on a true story, a GQ article about these guys called the Granite Mountain Hotshots, and essentially what they are is they're described as like the SEAL Team 6 of firefighters. These
Yeah.
are the guys that actually set fires to stop fires. So really,
The SEAL Team 6 of firefighters.
But that's what they're called. But that's
I
what
mean,
they're.
sounds so manly.
That's what I'm
Cut
saying.
down
Like
some
it's
trees, fight a bear,
it's
put out a fire.
There's actually a bear on fire in this. Like the Josh Brolin keeps seeing a bear on fire in his dreams, and he's all like, "There's something coming. I know there is."
I actually saw that in the ad, and I was kind of wondering, like, how does
What's
it
the
work in
context?
terms of like special effects? Because I saw that bear that's
Yeah.
on fire running through the fire. Because I saw Geostorm a few weeks ago, and the special effects in that were not good.
No,
And
no.
I think for these kind of movies, like, it needs to look like fire
Yeah.
for you to pull it off.
That's
So
Something
does
has
it
to
look
be
good?
on fire.
Yeah. And like to be fair, like it's Joseph Kosinski, and this is the guy who, like I said, he did Tron Legacy, he did Oblivion. He has a background in special effects. But what I find interesting is the fact that both of those films, they didn't necessarily kind of have an emotional core, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like they were just all spectacle. Whereas in this, it's the complete opposite. It's all about these men banding together and finding themselves and really helping.
It's very
one
Lone
another.
Survivor from one because it's
Very.
based on quite a similar story, but obviously,
Yeah.
different circumstances.
Firefighters
But in
and-
terms of the characters and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and what goes on,
Yeah.
and who survives,
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. Okay, let's talk about Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
One of the most consistent actors are talking about actors who've kind of had leading man potential, kind of been in supporting roles. We know he auditioned for Batman in the Justice League.
Yeah.
Didn't get it. Who did? Comment below. Win some tickets.
He would have been great.
He would have been a great Batman.
great shout.
So is he lead man here, or is Miles Teller the lead
No,
man?
he's leading man. I mean, it is kind of Josh Brolin. It's the dynamic between Josh Brolin and Miles Teller. It's sort of like teacher and apprentice kind of thing. And it's not, it doesn't feel hokey. At least it didn't to me anyway. Like, it did feel like there was a genuine sort of dynamic between them. And even Jeff Bridges, who kind of plays Josh Brolin's mentor, he comes into it as well for a short amount of time as well. And again, that feels very genuine. That's it. I mean, like, the performances between all three actors is really authentic,
Yeah.
and that's something that's been missing from Tron Legacy and Oblivion as well, is that Joseph Kosinski isn't able to kind of capture.
One thing Kaczynski's very good at is atmosphere.
Yeah.
You've seen Tron or Oblivion did. He's just
I
he's got
haven't, no, they wouldn't be my kind of
Wouldn't be your
movies.
cup of tea. They're good, though.
Especially Tron, I'm kind of...
Tron had its moments, I thought. Tron definitely had its moments.
Great soundtrack.
Very cool soundtrack. It's out of Oblivion.
Yeah, that was M83.
Yeah, Oblivion had some deadly M83 songs on it.
Not so much here now. I mean, I think he's got that guy Joseph Trapanese who was in Linkin Park. He did like the music for The Raid and stuff like that.
Okay, so funny. How do you feel about Kaczynski now? The film's kind of fine. Hasn't done that well at the box office in the US.
Yeah.
It's going to need some prestige behind it, some awards momentum behind it to get bums on seats. If at all, it's probably done now.
Probably done,
How do
yeah.
you feel about Kaczynski directing Top Gun 2?
Very good.
Really?
Very good. I was watching this. I was like, I totally see why he was picked for Top Gun 2. I just completely get it. Makes absolute sense. I think if you can kind of take its with this film, I think if you can take the earnestness at its heart, as in like if you can take it as
That
it's
blue
meant.
collar, like
Blue collar, very kind of wearing its heart on its sleeve. If you can kind of appreciate it for that, and I know you're kind of looking at me, kind of rolling your eyes, but if
I
you
just
can,
think the Top Gun reference is gas. Like,
it is!
But you're not going to have all the fun camp stuff. That
There
was
is a
in
bit of
Look,
camp,
There's
but
no
there's
semi-naked men sweatily playing volleyball
Yeah,
outside
and
in the sun.
flexing
And I
their
don't want to see
muscles
it.
there
randomly,
is a thing,
yeah.
but there is
Oh no!
a
Imagine
scene.
it was just Val Kilmer now, just fat Val Kilmer, just like oh. Sorry,
Oh,
just
no.
fat shame Val Kilmer. Sorry about that, Val.
Sorry,
I'm sure
Val.
he's watching.
He's big on Reddit. He follows a lot of stuff on Reddit. But it's you're right. Yeah, there isn't the kind of the weird campiness of Top Gun. But I think if you can take that part away, and you still have a workable film, I think. I'm not saying I like
take it
Top Gun for the
seriously, I'm
campiness.
sorry.
Like I don't like
I
Top
like
Gun.
Top Gun for everything. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's
all
what's
of it.
so
It's like a
brilliant
really
about it.
expensive Old Spice ad. It's class.
Yeah, it's just
Come on,
cheesy.
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
You quote
cheesy
those
as
lines
shit.
by like Tom Cruise sings to somebody in a bar. Do you know what I mean?
Excuse me, miss.
think you dropped
You
something.
never closed.
Go on, Brian. Sing it, Brian.
Go
Sing it.
on,
Go on.
go
We'll put
for it.
subtitle. Go on. I know he's all
Shy,
shy.
no.
Okay, look.
Shall we
Let's
take it
move
away?
on. Let's move on to Paddington 2D.
Yes.
And you cut up a Brendan Gleeson. Are we gonna see the Brendan Gleeson interview? What's the story?
Yes, I think that
Are we going to
should
see the
be
Brendan
able to.
Gleeson interview?
Yeah.
We're going to see it. We're going to see the Brendan Gleeson interview. Have a look.
Congratulations on Paddington 2, Brendan. This was such a joyful, wholesome movie. It made me feel like a kid again, really.
Oh, good. You deserve it.
I wanted to ask, was it as much fun to make behind the scenes and as joyful as it looked like on the screen?
Fundamentally, it was, yeah. I mean, it was always trying to be funnier, faster, funnier. But there was a lot of work went into it. At the same time, it was quite a big operation. You know, the kind of production values and all the rest of it are quite high. So, yeah, it's very unusual to get that kind of degree of sort of liberation where you can kind of really go for it in something that has to be so meticulously sorted out, you know, for technical reasons and all the rest of it. But it was a lot of laughs, I have to say.
So you give this one a cracking review. You give this
Yes.
4 stars. The first one did really well.
Yes.
And it kind of the first one kind of flew in under the radar. It's not often you get kind of, I suppose, live action kids movies
Yeah.
that get this kind of critical responses, you know, certainly from you.
Yeah.
What appealed to you about it?
Just, you know what it was? It was so wholesome and just feel good. And there's so few movies now. And I know Brian's feeling kind of cynical about this already. But it might even, you know,
This
do
is
with
this,
it.
yeah.
It might.
This,
It might
cynical
try.
heart. Yeah.
But it was just, and do you know what? It was action packed. It was really good characterization, a really good story, really just fun and funny. There was just so much that was likable about this. The animation was gorgeous. Like Paddington himself is animated so beautifully, and there were some really interesting like little sequences in this. For example, there was this pop-up book that kind of comes to life at one point, and that looked absolutely gorgeous. There was just so much about this to like. There was very little about this to dislike,
Just kind
to
of
be
sweet
perfectly
and
honest.
just kind of tonally
Really
nice.
sweet and tonally lovely, and just you leave it just with a big beaming grin on your face, especially given, I have to say, stay for the end of the credits because Hugh Grant has a little dance sequence which is quite fabulous.
Everyone's talking about Hugh Grant, the fact that this is kind of like, this could potentially relaunch his career
Yeah.
because he really does like give these kind of like, any scene he's in, he just completely steals it. Like,
Definitely. I mean, what's really funny as well about this is that it's kind of almost like self-referential because he's kind of this like failing actor in it, and he really kind of plays that up.
I don't think
and
Hugh
it's really
Grant was
funny.
ever a failing actor. Opposed
Boy,
No,
he
it's
went
just
off the
more
boil,
he's no longer at the pinnacle of his career.
But I mean,
you
he's
know what I
getting
mean?
older, I suppose. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of natural unless you're a certain kind of actor, or you kind of segue into directing like Clooney or kind of whatever it is. Who, you know, some Rubicon side wasn't done that well.
Yeah.
It's not great stuff. But About a Boy is a cracking film.
I love that
He's
movie.
brilliant
Yeah.
in it too, and that was a real departure for him as well. But was he in that Meryl Streep one last year that she was nominated for an Oscar for?
He is getting a bit of
Jenkins.
a comeback with
Jenkins,
that.
yeah,
because
he's a Golden Globe nominated.
yeah.
Nominated for that.
but I
like.
mean, I suppose it's, you know, he's gone are the days of like Four Weddings and a Funeral, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of way, where that was like the biggest film in the world, or Notting Hill or anything like that. And I think that's primarily because Richard Curtis himself has kind of gone a bit off the boil. Like, I think
Yeah.
the last film he did was About Time, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, and that was kind of
that was kind of a sweet film, I thought.
You know, yeah, because it's weird, yeah. About Time, like the
Donald
people who-
Gleeson's first role as a leading man.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
role as a leading man, and that was kind of everyone saying, "Oh, he's replacing Hugh Grant," kind of thing. Like that's the kind of role.
He's got a bit more range there, I think. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Hugh Grant might admit that even in terms of the roles that Donald Gleeson has picked.
Yeah,
Charlotte Reed actually did a gallery on site of the roles that you forgot Donald Gleeson had been in.
Yeah.
And he's
Judge
done
Dredd.
so many films, and he's been like in those kind of supporting roles and been very, very good in those films
Yeah.
as well. Like,
yeah.
so Dee, if you're going to pick something this week, you would pick Paddington 2.
Oh, definitely. Like, I would go so far as to say it is the family feature of the year, because I was looking back
Ooh,
at what
put
is.
that on the poster. Here we go.
Do you
Poster
put that on
quotes.
the poster?
Just flash up poster quote now.
Because
Like,
it's been a really, see, I have like 4 younger siblings, so I'm always keeping in mind like animations and family stuff that I would go to to with all my siblings and stuff. And it's been a really disappointing year. There was the Emoji Movie, which was awful.
Yeah.
And then there was like...
Remember I had TJ Miller in here? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then there was Beauty and the Beast, which was fine. Still has nothing on the original. And then just a bunch of like mediocre sequels and remakes. Despicable Me 3, Cars 3, Boss Baby was fine. There were a lot of movies that were just fine.
But it's a baby wearing a suit.
But it was Alec Baldwin voicing that baby.
No,
though.
and it
That'll
was
work.
it was good crack, and I mean it's getting a sequel and everything
Yeah,
because
'cause
it
it
did
made
do
money.
so
Really?
well.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
made money,
Yeah, I could have thought Chris Green there.
So yeah, it's been kind of a disappointing year. I know we still have Disney Pixar's Coco to come out.
Yeah.
So that might, You're
gonna get.
bump
We're
it
at the
off,
point now where
but-
we start getting. Well,
yeah.
at least in the US, you start getting the prestige films released
Yeah.
coming into Oscar season, and you also start getting the kind of family films. Daddy's Home 2. It's Daddy's Home 2 next week. Or it's the week after, but the
Well, I
guys are
wouldn't call
over.
that a
Yeah.
family feature.
Is
now.
it? Is Daddy's Home not kind of a family?
Ah, it totally is, yeah.
Isn't that kind of a broader?
Okay, well, it'd be like older family members. I mean, there's quite a bit of profanity in those
Is there?
movies. Yes,
You wouldn't take your little sister.
probably.
I don't remember there being profanity in the first one.
You're just.
Also,
there's so
it's
much
Mel
profanity
Gibson.
going on.
I don't know if I'd feel comfortable with,
Like-
Why
Why wouldn't you feel with Mel Gibson on screen?
What if he goes a bit
On
Ah,
screen,
you
Mel
won't.
Gibson-esque?
He'd be alright. He'd be grand.
Nominated for an Oscar. He's grand now. He's fine.
Yeah,
He's
this
fine.
is
I
it,
think
yeah.
he fell off the rails there for a long time, and I think he seems to
Hacksaw
have
Ridge.
come back on.
Yeah.
He seems to come back on the rails. Or
But
whatever,
like
so.
from the trailers and stuff, it's kind of teasing that like that's not how the scene finishes, and it does go a bit more.
Yeah,
You know.
it
You know what I
seems
mean?
it seems
For
to be shot.
kids.
Seems to be shot quite broadly anyway
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
terms of the comedy first. So next week's Justice League,
Yes.
but Brian Lloyd's going on holiday again with the Happy Pair.
Mm-hmm.
So they're off. Where are you going this time?
We're going to Boston and we're going to
Get in
go
the car.
searching. Yeah, we're going to Boston. We got a
We're
car.
gonna handstand into the car.
Yeah,
and
we're
then
going to
you'll star jump.
handstand. We're going to handstand all around Harvard, and then we're going to find some quinona lattes to.
What's a quinona?
I don't know actually. No, what is quinoa?
Quinoa.
Quinoa. What is that?
Quinoa,
Quinona.
yeah.
Quinona.
It's like healthy rice or something.
I thought rice
Really?
was healthy.
I don't know. I just know
Is
Uncle
rice not
Ben's
healthy
do
on
it.
its
Rice
own?
not
like-
healthy. Come on,
Uncle,
tell the
Uncle
viewers.
Ben's do it. So I
That's the
assume
microwave,
it's
it's
some kind
grand.
of yeah.
But you will be
rice
here
thing.
to talk Justice League next
Yes,
week. And I
yes.
think we'll draft and David Shockey as well. Screw you, Brian. Don't need you anyway. Enjoy your holiday with your two pals.
I will. Yeah, I totally
Um,
will.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to enter the competition below. Tell us who plays Batman in the Justice League. Huge thanks to Charlotte Reed and production. We'll see you next Friday.